Okay, man. Well, the episode has started. Welcome back. I've
Welcome
missed you.
back,
It's been a long week, bro.
mate. It's hot. I'm not complaining about the weather though, because I'm. Can you see? Look how tanned I'm getting. Look at that. Look at that
Yeah,
color.
that olive skin. That
Look at
yeah,
the
yeah.
olive skin. Yeah, man, it's been good. I just had some lunch out. It's just nice to have like we got our patio furniture now, so I can have lunch outside. I made this phenomenal. So Yaz is working from home today, which is a rarity. So I made this phenomenal
Oh
butter,
shit, yeah,
butter
yeah, yeah.
bean and asparagus dish, which was, mate. Do you know what? I'm actually gonna have to send you a photo of it because I made sure I took a photo of it because
Th-
it was that good.
This is how you know that you are a proper adult when you start going. You know that garden furniture, and oh my god, this dish I made, and you're just like,
Is there
yeah,
any way that
man,
you can share this onto the pod for people to see? I've
I
just
can.
sent
Yeah,
you it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've just sent you it. Look how good that looks. So I can't take credit. I got it from Alfie Cooks, who's like a big food guy on Instagram. Got the recipe off him,
Wait, whoa,
but
whoa, whoa! You didn't get it from Seps?
no, it's one of
Wow.
Sep's mates.
Oh no. Okay.
Um, but I saw it and I was like, you know what, I need to try that. Asparagus is in season at the moment, so
Okay,
you know
okay.
it's
Is this
good
what
to
they
eat.
call what is it, summer veg or something they
It's
call it?
just good to eat stuff that's in season.
Yeah.
It's meant to be good for you. So
Seasonal veg, that's it.
seasonal veg, yeah. So it's in season at the moment. I wanted to try it. Butter beans for the protein,
Hmm.
and tell you what, Yaz was pretty gobsmacked, and it tasted bloody good. So I was very very chuffed with myself. So I made that for lunch, and it's just nice to sit outside, mate, and eat it. Like, so yeah,
Mm.
weather's been
You know
good.
what? The weather really does make a difference. Like, as someone who is
Oh
chronically
yeah,
at their desk, seriously, like, even just being able to see the sun out the window, like, the other day, I was like, God, the day just feels a bit gloomy today. Like, what's going on? And I noticed was that the day before it was really sunny, and the
yeah.
next day it was cloudy, and I was like, wow, like, there's no
Have you
difference
been
between
outside
yesterday and
in the
today.
sun? Have you?
You know, when I say I
You
don't leave
need
my
to.
desk, it is a little bit exaggerated.
No, well, I
Yeah.
don't know if it is, mate, because I kind
Is
of
I go out
believe
every
it.
day, mate. Yeah, I go out every day.
Do you going for a walk today then?
Later. Well, see, my mum has like a business where she posts stuff out, and so I
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
post office runs and stuff. So, um,
So you walk to the
yeah.
post office? You drive to the post office, don't you?
We drive there, but we're out
So
for
you're not
like
actually
half an
getting
hour.
really
No,
any
no, but no,
sunlight,
but
are
we're
you?
out for half an hour. You know, you get, what do you say? You get,
Cam, you need that vitamin D, mate. Else
there you go.
you're gonna start,
Yeah,
breaking down. You're gonna
I
start
know, I know.
decomposing. Speaking of us, you watching The Last of Us season two?
No, I'm not. No, not yet. There's quite a few shows. There's Last of Us season 2.
Yeah.
There is Daredevil, the new Marvel series. There's also, have you seen that Tom Hardy
Andor
one?
is it new Andor? Is it the new Andor? The
Andor,
new
Star Wars.
Star Wars thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like a new Tom Hardy one called like Mob something or other.
Mob City or something.
Mob,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's a lot to catch up on. We did just watch. Have you seen that new Mickey 17 with Robert Pattinson?
No, not my
There's a
vibe. I
trailer.
don't think.
It's about where like he's
I
number
don't. I
17,
don't
like he's a
care what it's.
clone.
I don't care what it's about.
Don't watch it. It looked
I've heard it's
amazing.
not great.
It looked amazing. I was so looking forward to it. And then the entire third act is just like, what did they just change writers and directors halfway through? Like, what the fuck happened? I
Right.
was so disappointed.
More
But maybe
importantly,
maybe
are
the
you
listeners
getting
will.
my lunch up on screen for the people watching?
Yeah, it'll be.
Eh,
I'll do it. I'll do it in the edit. Like
Oh, you're
I
gonna do it
can
in the
ping you
edit.
up.
Fine. I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah,
were
yeah.
sharing your screen. Sorry. Sorry,
No,
everyone.
no,
That
no,
was me
no,
getting
no, no.
impatient there.
No,
But yeah,
it'll make more sense.
I'm actually rewatching The Last of Us because Yaz hasn't seen it.
Mm.
So we're
Okay.
rewatching season one, and then I want to go straight into season two, and I'm very excited about that.
Did you play the video game?
No, so when I was living in London, obviously Scott, one of my flatmates, has played the video game, and you've played the video game. So I
Yeah,
was hearing a lot from both of you when the first
yeah.
season came out. But it's so Yaz isn't into like the whole zombie thing. Like it's a bit
Hmm.
much for her at times, and like obviously it's quite jumpy in
Yeah.
parts. But she's so hooked, and she would never ever get into anything like that usually, which shows you how good it is because it is very good. Like
Yeah. Well, there's good actors as well, and
it's one of the
what is
best
it, Pedro
series I
Pascal?
think. Like
Yeah. Well, yeah, but what's interesting, I think this is the reason why I'm not as hooked on it, is because the show is literally like almost shot for shot like the video game.
video game, yeah.
But the delivery of the lines and the script aren't as good as the video game. Like the video game is just so much better at it. Like there's just those little nuances where you're like, even though it's Pedro Pascal, I'm a bit like Joel from the video game kind of just did that line
Okay,
way better. Like it's very weird.
that's weird.
But I'm interested in season 2 because I want to know if they do the thing that happens in The Last of Us 2, the game.
I don't talk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
I
say it. I
can't
won't say
remember what
it.
happens at the end of season one, so I'm basically rewatching season
Yeah,
one.
well, it's pretty
But
massive if they do
but
it.
anyway,
So yeah.
moving on. How are you? How's your week been? How's your weekend been?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's been really good. You know, I was pretty disappointed at the end of the last episode. I realised that we didn't tell the people that it was my birthday the day before.
How old are you now? 29,
I'm 29. Yeah,
mate.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we're both 30 next year, which is quite scary, actually.
It's
Yeah.
so interesting. I love it because when you look back at 22 and you go, didn't know anything. I look back at when I was 25, I look back at 22 and I thought that. When I was 28, I look back at 25 and I was like, didn't know anything at 25. So I think that when I'm like 32, I'm going to look back at 29 and go, mate, you could have just done anything. You could have fucked your life up for a year, and by the time you get to 32, you'll be okay or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's always like this in retrospect, you think you're wiser now. So you look back at those years and go,
Well, I think
naive.
your situation now is safer in the sense that like your costs are lower, you've moved up
Mm.
north, like stuff is way cheaper. So like you can get away with kind of like doing what you want as long as you earn enough to like cover your rent. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
it's very you can kind of do what
yeah.
you want with your free time a lot more. Whereas when you were in London, I know you weren't paying anywhere near as much rent as I was in London, but
Mm.
when you're in London, you're paying a lot of rent no matter where you are, really. And like you had a good deal, but still. And there's that always that pressure to be like, oh, like I have to earn X amount and then I've got loads of bills to pay and then like I need to be able to pay to like do all this other stuff in London. And it was just this like constant I don't know.
Well,
Whereas
your
like
runway
now
just
there's
doesn't
less
go as far.
pressure.
Yeah, the runway doesn't go as far because you might be able to take 6 months off, but there is like a hard limit of that's it. Whereas up north where I am now, and when you have your costs lower, you can do that, but you know that after 6 months you'll still probably be okay. Like your emergency fund just you can go and do one shoot and you go, oh, I've actually got like a month of costs right there or longer. Whereas in London that might have been like 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
But
you're still earning
obviously
good money, but it's just like,
but also that doesn't mean that you
yeah,
shouldn't be hungry to like cool, like you
mm,
could do one shoot and then be know you're covered for like I could do one shoot and know I'm covered for like 2 months, but then that doesn't stop me wanting to like go out and shoot more and like still earn as
yeah,
much as I
yeah,
can and
yeah.
do the best I can.
I think you can be smarter about it though. You know, you can really decide like, oh, I've got this shoot in 2 weeks and I've got this shoot tomorrow. I'm going to turn down this shoot tomorrow because it's maybe not in my niche. And I can just do the shoots I like, and I can spend my overtime like reaching out to people. Like you can just be
100%.
a little bit more conservative,
More
and
tactical. More
yeah, yeah,
tactical.
yeah. So it
Um
is nice, yeah. But
so
back to the original question, yeah, it was my birthday, which was great. And then I did the Lamborghini shoot as well at midnight after
yes,
our podcast day.
I was about to move on to that. Tell me how it was. Picking up a camera for the first time this year, no?
Uh, kind
Yeah.
of, yeah. For an actual shoot, I guess. Because
Yes.
I guess I picked it up just to film shelves. Uh,
No, no, that does not count,
yeah.
mate. That fucking does not
Even
count.
when I did that, I forgot to press the record button. Similar to, do you know what? For the listeners, Matt phoned me and he's like, "Yeah, Cam, I'm just recording, for my reel. Just wave to the camera." And then you phone me back 10 minutes later and you go, "I forgot to press record on my phone, bro. Can you do that again?" And I had
Yeah.
the same situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I don't think the people know, but I've been turning away. I don't. It's hard to. I don't want to say it. Like I don't want to tell people that I've just not been shooting for the last like 4 months, but it is the truth, and it's been very. I've been prioritizing, but yeah, it was the first shoot that Lamborghini shoot, and yeah, what are we on? Like we're at the end of April now, and
Basically, May.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So
how
it was
was
good
it?
though.
You
Yeah,
enjoyed
man,
it?
it was good. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, we were shooting. I thought it was a Lamborghini Revolto,
Yeah.
um, and it turns out no, that's his other car. We were shooting
Oh.
the Lamborghini Huracan STO,
Ooh.
which was sick. It was so nice.
Yeah.
And we got back at 5 a.m. We were meant to wrap at 3. I think we wrapped at 4 and then it took like an hour to get home. But yeah, we were suction cup FX3s to the car. We ended up going down to Manchester Airport with the tunnels.
Oh
And we
wow.
and we had the police come over and just ask us like what we were doing and stuff. And we were like, Yeah, it's just a personal project. We do this for as professionals, but this is just a thing. So hence why there's only like four of
Yeah,
us and
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, we
Were
were
they
shooting
chill?
on
Were
the.
the police? Were the police chill?
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, they
Yeah,
hadn't seen what we were doing because I don't think you're actually. It's. I mean, you're near the airport, so like, but it just so happens that they put the best tunnels in Manchester next to the airport. So it's like, sorry,
interesting.
but we've got a
Yeah,
Lamborghini, so
yeah.
you did it to yourselves. Um, but yeah, man, yeah, it was really good, really fun, and it was nice to be a little bit more creative as well in a sense of like the guy as well who owns the car is very just open to like trying this stuff, and so we're sat there and he's like, "Do you want me to try and like drift it around this corner?" I'm like, "No, no, don't do that." And so it's good to where like when you have like a crew, and even like the models or whoever are like open to having fun with it as well and just
Well,
seeing what's
also it's
going on.
great when
So
they also input, like when the
hmm,
models are like, "Oh, I could try this or I could do this," and it's just like one big collaborative process,
yeah,
right? Which is
yeah,
what makes it so fun.
yeah.
Do you think it gave you the kind of itch to pick up a camera a little more, even if it is just automotive, or like, do you want to go and do it again? Like, how do you feel about it?
I think so, yeah. I definitely feel a little bit more like I want to plan stuff out a lot more before I shoot. Like this was mainly Nabil shoot, so I was just jumping onto DOP and
Yeah,
also assist with whatever his ideas were. But I do like the idea of having things meticulously like this is the shot I want. This is probably when we can get it, and then go out and do it compared
yeah.
to doing whatever. So
You're not a
um,
very on the fly man, are you? But I think that's just your
well,
personality.
you do leave space for that, but I don't want to come away with just like good shots, but no way of being able to put them together.
Yeah,
So
fair.
Nabil had a good idea of how he was doing it, which was great. But there were also some shots where we were like, we can't actually get that because we don't have, uh, we didn't have like a license to fly a drone, for example, in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
area because it
yeah,
was near the airport. Whereas Nabil didn't think of that.
yeah, yeah. Fair,
So it's just tackling those things. But I
fair.
did set up a shot. Let me just share my
Have
screen.
you got something to share with us?
I
I want to
do,
see
I
it,
do.
man.
It's only
I want
one
to see
shot
it.
though. I'm only sharing one shot.
Okay.
Um, where the heck is it? Wait, one sec. Where is it? Um,
I've just realised that I'll be able to share some of my photography work before it goes on Instagram on these episodes now.
oh yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. All
That'll be
right, here we
good.
go. I'll share this. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is it's just one shot, but this was basically I've graded it only light grade, no
Okay.
judgment. But this was one of the shots. So we were shooting on the DJI Ronin 4D on a car rig, and so we were controlling the camera wirelessly, and we were just on the motorway. And this
Is
shot
this
like happened.
FX3?
No, this is the DJI Ronin 4D, which
Oh,
is
sorry, it's all in one
DJI's cinema
camera.
camera.
Is it all
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
Yeah, like the stabilizer and everything's all like okay.
yeah. I'll throw up some BTS pictures as well
Okay,
in
yeah,
the
sick.
edit, but
Yeah.
this happened naturally where we went through a tunnel and it went from orange to blue and
Ah,
it just looks
cool.
so sick. Like I saw that, and
Yeah.
in the car, I was like, "Oh my god, like this is sick!" Like look at just how sick that looks.
That's really
Um,
strange.
yeah, well, it's just the orange lights under the tunnel, and then the night sky is obviously like moonlight, and you've got the white lights above and shit like that. So
You need to make a note of
yeah,
that, like where that location is. So, like, imagine you could do a jump cut where it started with an orange Lamborghini and then it cuts to a blue one, and you had two of them, and they were going through the same spot.
hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm just throwing ideas out, but
No,
that's
I know.
cool.
Yeah, you end up getting like really uh meticulous with it in terms of all
Yeah.
these ideas, but. Yeah, man. So just that one shot. It's all I'm bringing because Nabil doesn't know that I'm sharing this either. So
Okay. Yeah.
he'll be
Fair.
fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was gorgeous. Super,
It's a
super
cool car,
gorgeous.
man. It's a cool car.
Yeah. So very happy with that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if there was anything else that like stood out. It was, it was just a good shoot overall. And do you know what? Nabil's the funniest hype man, bro. Like, and it was interesting how some people have something naturally because towards the end of the shoot when it was getting late, it's like 4 a.m. and we're trying to get this shot of us driving past the car as it's coming to. Oh, sorry, as it's coming towards us, and we get it, and the driver's like, "Yeah, man, Isaiah, are we like ready to go home?" And Nabil's like, "Can we do it one more time?" And the guy's like, nah, man, that's good. It's a good shot. And the people's like, nah, bro, if I get into the edit and I've only got that one shot, he's like, I'm going to hate myself. He's like, we're doing it again. And so it was interesting to see how even like Nabil had those characteristics of still pushing for the vision that he wanted, and he could have just kept that shot, and he
But that's
decided
just
to be
because
like,
he's
nah,
hungry. Do you know what I mean? Like he's new to the
yeah,
game. He's hungry. He's excited by these projects. Like I bet he was buzzing, like with the
yo,
footage he was
oh my
getting.
god, yeah, yeah,
That's nice to
yeah,
see,
it
though,
was
man. I
so
love that.
funny.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess like the hype man part being like when he was hyped, everyone else was, and I think that's
Yeah.
something that like Nabil's not directed too many things, but he has like those traits that like he's really good. You know, the energy on set, even when it is 4 a.m. and he's like, "Yes, guys, like, oh my god, this was the best shot I've ever seen," and you're all there
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah,
Sick.
this was a sick shot." So
That's good,
yeah,
man.
man, very very good. And so yeah, and then today I'm preparing to move next week.
Yeah, what
Sorted
day are
out
you
my
moving? What day?
internet. I think we don't get internet till the 7th of May, but I think we're gonna move around the 4th or the 5th.
Okay.
But I've got that 900 meg internet, 1 gig. Super
Mate,
excited
mine's been
for it.
playing up. I need to turn it on and off, I think.
Yeah, you should probably reset it every now and again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice,
so
man.
just excited to get stuff going, and I've got my posters arrived as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures to show you.
Fair.
Um, but yeah, just getting things dialed in, and yeah, final things. Fridge is arriving next week, and bed frame. Um,
That's it.
yeah, that's it. What about you? Go on. What have you been up to, Matt, since we last
Uh,
spoke?
what have I been up to? So, yesterday was just like a bit of an admin day. Today, I'm making some social content. I'm doing
Mm.
the same again today. And I need to edit the personal project I shot last week, the motorbikers, which I spoke about.
Ah, yeah, I
Shoot that
saw
my
that
dad
reel go
came
out
on.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the reel, I posted the reel with my dad in, which has gone down okay on Instagram and TikTok, so that's fun. And then I was shooting for Puma over the weekend, so I did
Oh
the
yeah.
Friday and the Saturday for Puma running.
This was the London before the London Marathon as well, right?
Yeah,
Am I
so the
correct with that?
London
Yeah.
Marathon was on the Sunday,
Okay.
and congratulations to all those people that ran it. Phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing some bits for Puma. So we were working with a few of the athletes on the Friday in their hotel, just like when they lay the kit out and getting some shots of them in their like hotel room as they're preparing and shakeout
Hmm.
run and all that kind of stuff. So I've got some Polaroids actually that I'm probably going to post up this week. So
Do you
um,
have anything for me to edit into this, or is it like ended like you can't release anything yet, or
yeah,
even
we can
BTS sort
throw.
of thing?
I'll send you a few of the Polaroids we can throw up on screen.
Okay.
But I've got like the Polaroid of like Kevin De Bruyne that I want to share.
Okay.
And like
Yeah.
a Finn Smith and a few others. So I think I'm just going to do a bit of a Polaroid dump of some recent faces that I've shot or like
Okay.
people. Um, so yeah, so Puma went really well, and then the Saturday it was quite cool. I shot 52 athletes in a day.
Jesus. Okay.
We basically had like a set that was already set up. Eden was assisting me. We had lighting set up, and then they would show
Yeah.
up and they'd have like a 5-10 minute window to do a shoot with us. And they were all
Okay.
like Puma were doing this like Project 3 running thing where they had like a bunch of athletes running the marathon and all in like they got kitted out with like Puma kit and Puma running shoes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they were turning up in Puma kit and they were stepping in one at a time and getting some shots just sat on a stool, like just simple portraits. And we had this like, the dust sheets that decorators have, just like a white backdrop. We just hung one of them up and that was the backdrop. So um,
You know
so
when
yeah,
you
that
when it is those types of shoots where people step in and then step out, and you've got to go through that many people. Do
oh
you have
mate.
like a set shot list of like, okay, I'm going to get a front on, I'm going to get an angled one, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, and then maybe there's like a bit of extra time for experimentation, or is it quite strict? Like, what do you
Yeah,
think?
good question. It was so they wanted like 8 to 10 edits per person,
Oh
which
God,
is like
there's so many images,
500
bro.
edits or whatever.
Yeah.
So they already had a Capture One preset for us that they'd shot at the Boston Marathon in the US.
That's
So
good.
basically, obviously, Capture One allows you to upload that preset and then it lays it onto every shot that's coming in. So it's like editing as
Okay.
it goes.
So is that temporary though, or is that just for like
That's
whilst it's on
permanent.
your screen whilst you're
No,
shooting,
no,
or
that's
does it
that's
actually?
that's permanent. Yeah, yeah. So
Interesting.
so it's
Okay.
adjusting it to their preset as it goes.
Hmm.
Obviously, they shot on a Canon R5. I shoot on a Sony A7 R5. So the
So
color,
it's just slightly, yeah.
yeah, the color balance and stuff was off. So when we were doing our test shots at the start, I adjusted it to what I was happy with
Hmm.
as an edit, and then once client was on set and approved it, then that was the preset locked in and the edit locked in for the day. So then
Okay.
when everyone is stepping in, I'm getting my shots. Everything that's coming in is pretty much edited, like maybe just like an adjust of exposure or whatever for skin tones and stuff. But like other than that, it's pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Which is so much easier, obviously. So Eden's kind of adjusting and making selects as we're going on the way, and then once we got like a few minutes spare time, client would step in with Eden and make their selects per person.
Okay.
So we are doing that as we went. So at the end of the day, we had 8 to 10 images per athlete that were selected, and they were already edited. So it was just a case of exporting and airdropping to
Okay.
client. So it was a
Damn,
very
super
like
fast.
tight ship and very efficient.
Hmm.
And I'd done stuff like this before with Eden for like Yonex and stuff. So like we're used to working together and like it's all really good. So, but mate, I was so socially drained after that shoot. So
Yeah. So many
like,
people to get through as well.
imagine having like 52 people to obviously do small talk with, like one to one with them. They're coming in, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
how are you feeling about the race tomorrow? How's your prep been? What time are you shooting for? And I'm just like making small talk with people and getting them to sit down, telling them how I want them. And I was kind of going through like 3 or 4 different poses every time, and
Hmm.
then just changing the angle slightly to like keep things varied. But also, what was really nice is say like a guy had come in and his wife and his kid were there. So for a couple of the shots at the end, I'd get the kid in and the wife, and like they'd
Okay.
have like a little family portrait.
Okay. That's not what I was imagining when like even a scenario coming up like that. That's quite
Yeah,
interesting.
I'll send them to you so you can put them up on screen now. But
Okay.
so it was like obviously like people had flown in from the US and their family were there to support them during the marathon, and this
Hmm.
one guy had his kid with him, and they do a junior race the day before where the kids run a mile and they get a medal that's like the marathon medal. So like the
Okay.
guy's kid had done it and the dad was doing the London Marathon the day after, so he had him sat on his knee with the medal around him, and just like all these little things that are they're really nice, but also it's refreshing and it breaks up the imagery, so it's different.
Hmm.
So it might be like there was one guy and his younger brother was there, so I had a shot of them together, and couples. I'd get them to sit on each other's knee and hug each other and like and just like wind them up and be like, right now you can actually like act like you like each other, and then they both smile and one of them might put their arm around the other, and do you know what I
Uh,
mean? So just like a lot of little small talk like that to get them to interact and get those shots that are really like true and meaningful, and it just helped disperse all the other shots we were kind of doing, like in terms of
yeah.
variety.
Especially if you've got that many people, you can probably start. If you add all the images together, you might just be able to see loads of people like this
Yeah,
and
so
like
it's a
this,
lot of
and
it's a lot of the
so
same poses else. So I was getting
yeah,
people to kind of try and switch it up. But yeah, those days are good, and it's so handy having like Eden on hand to like edit as we're going and kind of all that kind of stuff. But because sitting and editing 500 images after the fact would have been like a lot more work. So like by the end of the day, it's all done, and like as we're packing down, clients got all the images already and they're approving
yeah.
them. So
Is that something that you think listeners should be aware of? Like, because I think you could quite easily as well leave that post production until after the shoot over like tomorrow, but you've obviously figured out, oh, actually, that it is possible to shoot it and have those things ready by afterwards. Did you think of that beforehand, knowing actually, yeah, like we can just do this workflow where the grade is applied and
yeah,
the selects are done? Because I
well,
think I'm imagining that maybe photographers that are a bit more beginner would have imagined that they would have done that same shoot, but they would have gone home and edited or like applied the grade later. Like,
so usually that'd be the case, right? But when you're
mm,
shooting things that are like it's a campaign that's based around the London Marathon,
they need
they
to come
want
out fast.
they want stuff fast to go on socials, right?
Mm,
So after the Friday shoot, we'd shot 3 athletes in their hotel rooms, walked downstairs straight away. I'm on capture one, clients next to me making selects. Once they'd made their selects and they'd got their shots they were happy with, I'm straight to King's Cross Station, meet Yaz. I'm on the train for that next hour back. I'm editing,
mm,
and I'd already got the grade that I was going to do approved before I left, so I knew that they were going to be happy with it. And then I obviously applied that grade across to all the images, tweaked it, and then by the time my trains got into Peterborough, they're done, they're uploaded, and they're we transferred over. And by the time I'd driven home, they were approved by a client, and then they're
Yeah.
up on Instagram the following morning. So there's fast turnaround times for these things because it's based around the London Marathon. It was the same for the Saturday shoot. They were going to post, I think, that same later in that day or early in the morning. So like stuff has to be pre-approved, and so it's just a fast turnaround time. Obviously, like other stuff I might have a week to edit it and do what I need to
Mm.
do before I deliver it to client. I never like to leave it that long anyway. I like to shoot, edit as I go,
Yeah. So
um,
the workflow is determined on like
based
what
on what they
basically the
need
shoot needs.
and the
Yeah.
speed. Because I would
Which
say
makes
like
sense as well.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
would say I could have probably spent longer on those edits personally. But like when you're handling speed that fast, I have to trust that I'm happy with the way Eden is cropping it for the
Mm.
frame, and like trust that he's maybe dropped the exposure enough. So, I'm really happy with the edits. I think they look good, and they put a template over them and all that kind of stuff. So you
Mm.
would have seen them up on screen, but I could have made them better and spending longer with them and post, but there wasn't the time there for me to do that. So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
assignment dependent,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
always
Because
is.
I was curious as well, like if people would just adopt this workflow on every shoot, and then you know what I
Well,
mean. But I don't know whether.
you would like if I'm shooting into Capture One live. Like I did a shoot with my mate Jack the other week for a brand that he's working with, and
Mm.
um, I will. I didn't have an assistant or anything on the shoot, so like I would fire off a test shot once I've got the lighting up. Once I'm happy with the lighting, I'll then apply my own grading and preset,
Mm.
and then edit it to a place that I'm happy with, and then after that, every shot we shoot on the shoot is coming in with my applied preset for how I want this shoot to feel and look. So when I come to the post production process and I go to edit, 50% of the groundwork's already done
Mm.
because it's kind of already applied over everything, and I'm going through and changing and tweaking stuff and color matching and whatever. But the groundwork's already, not all of it, but some of it's already done. If that makes sense.
Is there not a risk though of that now being baked into the image though? Like, what happens if in the future, say like in a year's time, you want like the raw? Do you still get the
So I
raws as
just
well?
go
Like,
into the image and I click reset, and it will give me the raw image.
bro, that's crazy. See, we don't have that in video.
Because like it's still just editing the raw file, and I can choose
Mm.
to reset it anytime I want. So
Yeah, I suppose we do have that in video, but it's a little bit more like it's yeah. There's different touch points, I guess. So that's really
yeah,
cool though. You have so much more flexibility with photo. It's
yeah,
kind of
no, it's good,
annoying.
man. It's good. So yeah, that was a good, I think an
Mm.
interesting conversation to people to just kind of listen to the
Mm.
workflow, and I think it's like a good real life example of like say a shoot I had a few days ago. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
so yeah, man, they're good shoots, and it's nice leaving set and not like knowing that second day that the editing's done, everything's done, and client's happy and they've got their
Yeah.
images. So you
You
go
can wake up
home
the
and
next day like, sleep
yeah,
well that night and
yeah.
everything.
So it is good. It is good.
Uh,
Anyway, should we get on to a bit of a topic that I'd like to talk about?
yep, go for it.
One sec, I'm just gonna have my throat's so
I was
sore, man.
just getting my monster.
I've been really busy with my mentoring. I've got two more tomorrow, and I had
Oh
like four
shit!
last week.
Oh my god!
Yeah, which is
What is there any common things that are popping up from the people you
um
mentoring across all few of them? Or
most people always want to cover like how they market themselves and outreach.
mm,
They're the two that kind of constantly come up. I've got a lad tomorrow who has rebooked. So he did a session with me 3 months ago, found it really valuable, and then he's rebooked in for another one tomorrow.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so I need to save my voice. I lose my voice too easily. It's like lecturing.
uh,
I feel like a uni lecturer. I'm
oh
like
yeah.
talking away, and then after like an hour, I'm like, ah.
You know that my mum says that like in the future, like we could end up being like uni lecturers where you go in and
Oh,
either you do it part time, because I think some of my lecturers at uni, like I have a post production degree, so my lecturers I think worked at the BBC and stuff like that, and
yeah, yeah.
it was interesting to think that these people are like this is just their side thing, being a
I know.
uni lecturer. It's so weird.
I've been asked to go
Um,
and do a talk in a school soon
oh really?
in July. Yeah, I've got to do like a
Uh,
speech. I've got to present awards, the
yeah.
the whole works. So I need to prepare. That's not
So,
till
hey,
July. That's not till
social
July.
proof though. You get that as evidence that you're an
Yeah,
expert doing what you
I
do,
can
and
make some good social content out of that.
You should do one of those things, you know, like when it's like a music artist and they like FaceTime with the crowd behind them. You should take like a picture like that.
That would be jokes. That would be jokes. Maybe.
You did not look like you was on board for that when I said
Yeah,
it.
like it's not my style. Anyway, let's get into
Okay,
topic.
okay.
We've already been waffling for half an hour. Um, so I want to talk about how to stop comparing yourself to other creatives because I
Hmm.
feel like it's something that we fall foul to in our industry, and I'm not so bad for it, but I want to talk about how I stop myself doing that. But I know there
Hmm.
are so many people out there that do it, and with the rise of social media and like I myself post a lot on social media, and it's so easy to get wrapped up into it.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's
Yeah.
one big cause of why people compare themselves. And um, but before we get into it, have you ever found yourself like succumbing to this issue? Like, have you ever found yourself comparing yourself and getting frustrated about it?
Um, to be honest, only recently I think I've been unraveling that maybe I have been like that,
Okay.
but not in the traditional sense because I saw social media as a bit like, oh, I have to post on these days at this certain time. If I post one day, then I have to wait like 2 or 3 days to post again. And
Yeah.
I think I was comparing things in that way where it became more of a like when you're posting, it needs to be optimized the best, and then seeing other people posting at certain times and them getting like so not comparing work to work, but comparing on like how they are sharing
Methods.
their work.
Methods.
Yeah, and more recently because I don't want to be on social media as much. Like I think I posted a few times this week,
You have.
and I posted one day, and then the next day I was like, I'm just gonna fucking upload again. Like who cares?
Yeah, mate.
And
Like,
I
it's
think
not.
if you stop like comparing yourself, even in the littlest sense, and you just treat it as your own thing, it makes everything way more fun.
I think you
Um,
treat it as your own scrapbook. Like, this is a
yeah,
scrapbook of my journey, my work, and
mm,
that's the way you should look at it, as if no one was watching and it's just me documenting
yeah,
the way
but
I'm going with my journey. And
yeah, but comparing yourself, it can be really difficult because it's like sometimes it can be really subconscious. So like
yeah,
you might not think that you're comparing yourself, but then when you look at the way you maybe shoot your work or something like that, you notice like why do I feel like I need to do it this way? And then you trace it back and you're like, it's because I saw that video of that guy who said that he does it this way and like that's the way it should be. And also it's like, yeah. Um so I would say yes, but only recently I've come to know that I've been comparing myself maybe a little bit too much or
yeah,
I never found my own way of doing it because I started off by doing it the way I thought it had to be done.
yeah.
But what about you? What do you think? Have you
Like
compared yourself in the past?
I think probably more so when I started out, and it wasn't to the point that it was frustrating me. It was like, oh, their work's sick. That's what I want to get to, and it was more of an aspiration thing, right? It was more of like,
Yeah,
I want to get to this level. This is sick. I took inspiration from the way they shoot or the way they edit. Um, but it's never like got to me to the point where it's been like because it can be a massive internal confliction and get you down and get you like low and oh it's not good enough, I don't want to share it and all this kind of stuff. So I think you can very quickly get into a negative spiral and ruminate about it and to
mm,
extreme cases, and people then don't end up sharing their work and they think it's not good enough. And I always like to say talk to yourself how you would talk to your best mate. Like if you said you had some work to post and you wanted to share it, I would say, yeah, like share it. It's great. Share your journey, like how I already do anyway. But some people can talk to themselves in such a horrible way that but like you'd never say that to your best mate. So why would you say it to yourself? The person you're meant to care about yourself more than anyone is you, right? So
yeah.
it's
I've,
like, why would
I,
you? Why would you even speak that tone in your own brain to yourself? Like it's so bad. It's like
yeah,
you need, and it comes back to the episode we did about like being your own biggest fan and backing yourself and having fun with it and all that kind of stuff. So I think just I try to tell myself like, what advice would I give to a friend? Share it, back yourself. Who cares what anyone else says? Go for it. That's all the kind of things you should be saying to yourself about sharing kind of your own work and understanding that if you said to me, "Oh, Matt, like this person's work's so good and like it makes me think that I'm not good enough and I don't want to share my own work," I'd say, well, and this comes into the points I have about how to stop comparing yourself to others. I'd say, Cameron, you need to understand your journey is so unique to you that it's rare that two paths in the industry are ever the same. The person who you're comparing yourself to might have done like, you know, 5 years on set on movie productions with Marvel and like decided to switch to freelance and they've been freelancing for a year, but like they've got all this prior experience that you don't know about because you can't see it. Do you know what I mean? And that's why their work is sick. And you can't like you've had two completely different routes into the industry.
Do you know what? I think you also need to give yourself time to allow things to kind of like become what they are. And what I mean is like a lot of the people that you see, especially that are doing, say, Marvel movies or they're working on Nike commercials, like they they've been in the industry long enough for these opportunities to find them and for them to like do these things. And even if they are young, they might have started like when they were 11 or something. And it,
Or, sorry, I just want to say, or had a real good bit of luck. Like,
yeah, or they might know someone in the
yeah,
industry already. Like they
exactly.
might have had an in or something like
Yeah.
that. And
Part of the game is luck as well, guys. Like,
yeah,
you know, yes, you have to like show that you can work, and you might get an amazing bit of luck and get an opportunity to shoot something incredible. But like, if the work's not there, you'll get found out pretty quickly. And yes, you then might have that on your portfolio and say, "I got shot shoot this night commercial." But if the level's not there, you're not going to get asked back to do it again.
mm.
But it is a bit of luck as well. Like that obviously does play a part.
It's like timing, all this
It's
stuff.
all this stuff, yeah.
Um, but it does also make me think that when when you do see these people, like there is a sense of like now that based on like what I'm doing and my experience, I feel like a lot of the stuff is only just coming together. Like I moved to London when I was 22, 21, 22, and now like when I'm 29, or everything is just so much easier in terms of how to get my head around video because I've been doing it for so long. So then when you do the next thing, it doesn't phase you. So when I was say 22, I'd look at something and go, I can't imagine charging that much for a project, or I can't imagine the responsibility that goes into that project. And then you look at what you're doing now, and you almost take on those things without even a blink of an eye
Yeah.
because you know what you're doing. And I think that is, it's easier to compare yourself when you are kind of like looking up at things, but then when you get there, you're like, oh, like no wonder. Um, like I don't know, it just seems easier. Like it seems silly to compare yourself in a way, but then you
Yeah.
compare yourself from that point as well onwards. It's really weird.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
also like someone might be 7 years into their craft, like, and
Actually,
you might only be two. You might only be 2 years into your craft, so
hmm.
your style's going to change over time. Like when I look at my style from even 2 years ago, it's different to what it is now. 7 years ago when I started, it's so different to what it is now. Obviously, the skill levels changed drastically, which then is a consequence of your style changing as well. Um, but it's like comparing a pilot with 7 years of training compared to 2 years. Like if you've got a
Hmm.
fighter pilot and one's 7 years in training, one's two, it's different. Like it's going to look different. The different skill sets, different levels. So you also have to understand that time is on your side like in that aspect. You have to wait. Obviously, you've got to put in the work, and just sitting and waiting for 7 years doing nothing isn't going to make you any better. But if you're putting in the work to learn, and you do that over a period of 1, 2, 3 years, you're going to evolve and change as an artist, and that's like a
Hmm.
natural process and progression. So it's also
Yeah,
just remembering that these people that you're comparing yourself to, you see this work, oh, that's sick, and you give it a like and you give it a save, and you should move on, but you don't. And you sit there staring at it, and you're like, why? Why doesn't my work like that? And you start getting this internal dialogue and frustration, and you start talking down on yourself. It's understanding that the person's work you're looking at might have 10 years in the game. Like you can't. It would be silly when you take yourself out of it and you take out the emotion. And if I was speaking to you as a friend, I would say, "What are you doing?" Just it's
hmm.
simple. You can't compare. It's silly. Like it's just
You give
stupid.
you when you're talking to a friend, you give yourself a little bit more grace,
Yeah.
and you don't allow yourself to have that same
Yeah.
space technically.
Yeah.
But it also makes me think how when it's just completely gone.
No problem.
Oh,
Well,
I've just remembered.
go
I
on.
just remembered. That I think your value of what you think is good work changes as time goes on. So you look at someone's work and you think, look at that transition, or look at like that angle, or like whatever. And then by the time you get to that point, you actually probably don't even think that was worth aiming for in the first place. Like, so it's all relative. And it makes me think of when someone says, oh, the best time to start was 10 years ago. But at the same time, the second best time to start is right now. And I think that's the same thing with like your own progression of where your work is. Like you're aiming for somewhere, but at the same time, like where you are right now is good as well. Like you're already really good based on where you are right now because you've only been doing it for a year or two or whatever. But then when you're 7 years in, you'll kind of feel the same, but your work is also as good as what a 7 year person would be doing. So your bar always moves relative to like how long you've been in the industry. It's really
Yeah, for sure.
strange, and it makes me think about. Um, I was thinking the other day actually, like the naivety of like how sometimes you can be good by not knowing what's good or bad, just knowing what you want to do. Um,
Yeah.
because I was looking at some of the Manchester United stuff that I shot back in November, that was going out, and I was directing some of the players, and it made me think, why was I so comfortable with like directing those players when I was shooting them? And it was because I'm not as much of a football fan. Like I'm naive to like who the players are, so
Mm.
it allows me to do like my job better technically. And then when I'm comparing myself to people, is that what like they think as well? Like the reason why their work is so good is because they don't hype it. They're just like, yeah, like I shot with this person, or I got this shot. Did I? Maybe they're not aware of like how cool it is.
Well,
Maybe you only think it's cool.
hyping it and being naive to who they are is kind of two different things, isn't it?
Mm,
But like, I completely agree with what you're saying. I think when you're more relaxed around, say it's like high level talent, whether that's professional
mm,
footballers or whatever. If you're a massive Man U fan and you're working with the Man U team, you're going to be a bit more like nervous and a bit more
mm.
oh. Whereas if you don't even know who they are, then you can just get on and do your job. The aim is obviously to do that in any scenario. Just be yourself and be
Mm.
and direct however you want to direct and just be you. Um, but it's certainly interesting, like
Yeah.
how it changes throughout your career. But this is more for the people that are stopping themselves from sharing because they've talked themselves out of it, or that they have because of comparison is the thief of joy. I firmly believe that and love that saying. And you know, I think you're silly to stop yourself from doing that because of your own internal dialect, and you've talked yourself out of it and you've told yourself it's not very good. And I think yes, it's always important to push and do better, but I just think comparing your work to someone else's is you're different humans, you've got different eyes, you've got different ways of seeing the world, your art's different. Every experience you've been through from childhood to now is different. So you're not the same human, so you can't output the same type of creativity in the same eye in the same photograph. You just can't. So
Well,
I don't know.
you're uploading all the time though. Like when you're uploading these reels, some stuff is like, quite BTS and a little bit more like, oh, this is how I make my deck or whatever. But then other stuff is like professional photos. So when you're uploading your more chilled reels, do you have like this thing of, "Ah, I don't want to post this, like it doesn't look as good? Or are you just like, it's all fun, like it's all part of
Oh,
the
I
thing,
don't
like
give a
just,
fuck, man. I
yeah.
don't like. Maybe I used to like a few years ago, but like now that I can remove it from my home grid into the real section.
Mm,
But even now, I've stopped bothering with that. I've actually
mm,
stopped bothering because I'm like, I don't care if my grid looks messy. I'm seeing the benefit of my following growing, work improve, like amount of work that's coming in, like potential partnership opportunities. Like, I'm like, what's not good about this? I don't care
yeah.
if it's BTS that's shot on a phone. As long as the story I'm telling is still like the audio's good, I've cut it up in a half decent way. Cool. It doesn't need to
So,
be
so,
cinema camera or anything like that.
yeah. So what you're comparing yourself to isn't the quality. It's more like, did I upload today or did I not, kind of thing. Like your goalposts for what is comparison is based on like, I don't
Yeah, it's
know.
if I'm showing
Yeah,
up or not. It's like, am I hitting my
yeah.
goals or not? That's it. Like, I'm not. Oh, this person did this, or this person uploaded that, or that person's reel looked really high end. It's
Hmm.
not. I know what I need to do in order to achieve and get to where I want to achieve. So I either show up and do it, and there's a minimum standard of what that looks like. But some of these reels are like a BTS clip versus the shot, and it's 10 clip. Like it's fucking as basic as it gets. Like it's not high end
Do,
stuff at all.
do you think it's important though for people to like get to that point? Like, is that something? like we've got to where we're kind of not bothered about what we're uploading in a way. Because I imagine again, I think we spoke about it previously, where social media, like people see things differently
People are
depending on
so
who's using
precious
it.
about their grids, man, and
Yeah.
like it all being like neat and
Mm.
pretty and like this like portfolio of work. If you want to see my portfolio, you go on my website and you see like the work, but like Instagram, I think especially the way Instagram has evolved now with reels and stuff, it's meant to be more of a scrapbook of your work. Like, whether that's just it's just what the app favors. Do you know what I mean? Like it's BTS video, it's like whatever your goals are. Obviously, you can create content based around whatever your goals are. Whether that's just I want to be a photographer and share my photos, but get more work, or like whatever that is. But I just think ever since I've been like, fuck it, I'm not going to be precious about how it looks. I'm just going to put it out there and show up and keep showing up. I've had nothing but good stuff happen because of it.
Mm.
So I think
Yeah.
seeing that has reaffirmed to me that it's not important to have a really, really pretty grid and it's just all these beautiful photos and but
Yeah.
it's completely situation dependent. Like there's photographers out there that have insane work and they don't post any reels and they're busy and they're but like I've got goals specific to me in terms of another revenue stream, growing my following. I do my mentoring that I enjoy. I want to still get paid to be a photographer and do all my commercial work. These are my goals that are individual to me. So I'm doing the things that I need to do in order to chase them down, and that is showing up. So that's what I'm compare. Last, my only comparison is: did I show up this week? Did I post 3 times and upload some stories? No, right. I need to do better next week. That's it.
Yeah, but the way you measure things is different as well now, though, because like for me, like I no longer think that the quality of the work I upload says anything to my ability. Like I think that if my entire Instagram could look really shit, and the quality of the work could be pretty bad on there as well. But if I have a few portfolio pieces that I feel are really good, then I'm like I'm already skilled enough. Like I can upload shit and it'll still be fine. So maybe it's also thinking that the stuff that you are comparing yourself to and the stuff that you upload is it doesn't like really say whether you're good or bad. It's just like in a way, it's like it doesn't say anything about your ability. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't knock you down just because you upload something you don't think is as good as that other person's.
Well,
Does that make
true, and
sense?
also that's what your 3 pin posts for the top of your Instagram. You'll
Mm,
notice that that's like some of my best work.
mm,
So when you come onto my page, you're seeing 3 images that are mine that I'm really proud of, and that's the level of work I can shoot to. And then below that, you're seeing BTS, my journey, all this other scrappy. It's a
mm.
scrapbook, but you know from those 3 images at the top, this is the level of work I operate at, and on my website is the level of work I can operate
Yeah,
to. So
and
that's
everybody has a 3 pin thing. Like no
yeah,
matter what level you're at, you always have 3 things that you're probably decently proud of at your level.
yeah.
So I think I don't know. Like, I'm just imagining if I was to come onto your page, if I was to compare myself. Um, I don't know. Like it's like I feel like we're talking about social, but people would still compare yourself to your top 3 pin posts
Yeah,
at the
maybe.
same time.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just talking about like how I obviously
Mm,
operate and go about social, but
mm,
I think then it becomes like being mindful about how much other work you digest. So like for me, I follow lots of photographers that are really talented and they're inspirational and I get inspiration from their work. And when I'm flicking through my feed and I see it, I'll give it a like, give it a save, be like, that's cool, and move on. I'm not sat there like analyzing it like, oh, that's really cool. Like, oh, I wish I or like, why doesn't my work look like that? And
mm.
like, how did they do that? And I like, oh, that and letting it annoy me. I'm just like, that's cool, that's inspiring. I've saved it to look back later if I want some inspiration into my inspo folder, and I just keep going through, and I keep like it's not getting so caught up in the stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Like,
about the fun. It's about the fun of it. Like
yeah,
if I was, say for example, if I was a photographer and I was taking inspiration from you, like I would probably look at the stuff that I like from you, and then the next time I do like a running shoot or a sports shoot, I'll be like, oh, like this is an opportunity for me to try that thing that I saw Matt do,
yeah.
and it's like that's the part that's
And using it to
fun.
inspire you. And there's no like,
Yeah.
I've seen especially recently. You know the shot that we did for Tag Heuer where it stood and then
With
there's
a blurry
blurred people.
background.
I've seen
Hmm.
quite a few people do that, and I've had people send me it and like text me saying I've tried this, like
Hmm.
what do you think, and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen other brands do it now. There's no offense taken. Like whoever made the mood board for that shoot for me for that shoot probably also saw. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like taking things you like that inspire you and then putting your own twist on them and shooting them how you would shoot them and editing it how you would edit it and like just creating for you. But like taking inspo from like little things and bringing them together. Obviously, you don't want to rip off someone's shoot completely and do the exact same thing, same styling, same pose, same like it's just not gonna it's just not gonna go down well. But um yeah, like I think it's all about this mindset switch. Like if I've seen some work that's inspired me, this person's work is amazing. Like I'm just gonna let it inspire me to go out and create for myself. Do you know what I mean? Instead of being like, this person's work's really really cool. Why doesn't mine look like that? Maybe I shouldn't share my recent shoot. Actually, I don't know if I like it that much. And then going down this negative feedback loop of
Yeah.
bad stuff. I think you've just got to switch your mindset and let stuff inspire you and excite you and make you be like, yeah, I want to create and I want to get out there and that shoot's sick. I'm really looking forward to doing that personal project that I plan next week now. You know, like just
Yeah.
using it to ride you up and not bring you down.
Well, when people are anxious for an interview or something, they always say try and turn your anxiety into excitement because
Yeah,
the situation's the same, but you just feel better about it. And
yeah,
maybe it's the same with inspiration and comparing yourself, where instead of seeing it and being like, and seeing the gap of where you are and where you want to be,
mm,
maybe instead you can be like, wow, this is going to be sick to try and
yeah,
do this.
yeah,
Nabil's really good at that with the car stuff. He sees a lot of car stuff and we go out and he's like, I'm just going to fucking try and get this.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, like I think that mindset is a similar thing that you just mentioned.
We're all just pushing ourselves, right? Like use it as motivation. Like I'll see someone do something really cool and I'll use it as fuel and motivation to be like, right, I want to go out. Like I'm competitive, grew up playing sport, one of three brothers, super competitive. So like I'll use that to my advantage to be like, that's sick. Do you know what? I want to go out and shoot something even better and level up. And like I'm gonna try and push even harder than that. And like not in like a mean way, but we're all just we're all helping each other level up by doing that. Like we're all
Yeah,
motivating each other, we're all inspiring each other. And I think that's just like that's the way I use it in a positive way. So I think it's just switching your mindset and like having a word with yourself. Am I talking to myself in a horrible manner? Would I speak to myself like this if I was speaking to a friend instead, like my best friend? And just being mindful. If you think you're consuming too much, mute people or just like filter out or like what you follow, like what you digest. Am I spending too much time on Instagram and am I spending too much time staring at other people's work? Like just asking yourself those questions.
yeah, and also, at least for me, I think I like to think of things that if it's the opposite, then it takes courage. And what I mean is like there's a scene in the best way to explain it is like in a Marvel movie where someone says, "Oh, are you sure you're ready to do this?" Like you're like, "Come on, like you need to do this," and he says, "No, I have the courage not to do it." And I think at least the way I think of it is like I have the courage to get hyped up about this instead of the opposite, where it's like, "Oh, you should feel bad." It's like, no, I have the courage not to feel bad about it,
Yeah.
and to and so that might help people as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, man,
Sweet.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we park it there. Let's end the episode. We've been going for quite a while, so
End the episode. Is that it? Is that what we've have we been through things, mate?
mate,
Oh yeah.
we're
Oh my god.
55 minutes in.
Oh my god. Damn,
We're
mate.
55 minutes in.
These remote ones are leaving me with energy.
I know. Well, if you made it this far and you're still listening, thank you very much. We really appreciate your support. If
Yeah.
you've got friends that you think would like the podcast and they're in the creative space, please get them to check us out. Follow us on Spotify. It's really helpful for the algorithm and stuff.
And we're on YouTube again.
Cam's been
Wait,
uploading to YouTube.
yes, YouTube. That sounds so
YouTube.
American. YouTube.
YouTube.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, because
So
we haven't posted on YouTube for like 2 years or something since episode 13.
yeah,
And
that's
now
wild.
we've started posting on YouTube again. So if you like watching the video versions, you don't have to be listening on Spotify. You can go and watch on YouTube as well now.
Yeah.
So go subscribe
Sweet.
over there. Sign up to our
Um,
newsletter.
Yeah, and
All
just
the good
thank you
stuff.
guys. Thanks for the support. It's really, really good. We're trying to push for 1,000 followers on Spotify, so that's our next goal. We're halfway
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and
Um,
also it's 2 years. We mentioned it in the previous episode, but it's actually this episode that goes out, I think, is around just after the 2 year mark as well again. So we
Happy
didn't say
birthday,
thank you
Cam.
last time.
Happy
Oh
two
yeah, happy birthday to
years.
me as well, and also 2 year for the pod. But we didn't in the last episode say how we thank you guys for listening for the last 2 years, which is insane.
Yeah, that's
So
if people have made it this far. This has been a long episode. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, thanks guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the newsletter. It's in our Instagram bio. Please leave 5 stars in the Spotify. That helps a lot for the algorithm. That's obviously if you like the show. And yeah, catch you in the next one.
yeah, guys.
Peace
See you next
out.
week.